Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna be looking at Star Wars The Black Series Droideka Destroyer Droid from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. It's a great addition to the line because for years all that we had in the Black Series line were those B1 battle droids. Geonosis one, this one, and a few different versions from video games. So it's great to finally see Hasbro doing more of these prequel droids. At the time of recording this video we did get Magna Guards, and those B2 droids are also coming to the line, so we are now looking at this beautiful Droideka figure that comes in this huge box, and we are seeing of course the window with the figure inside, Star Wars The Black Series logo at the top, Star Wars The Phantom Menace here, Droideka. Here is the side art of the box with a beautiful illustration of Droideka, the back of the box with the same illustration, and then a short bio. We can see that Droideka is number 4 in the Phantom Menace subline of the Black Series. Nothing special on the other side of the box. Here is the top of it, and at the bottom some legalese. So now let's open it up and let's take a look at the figure. And before I pull the figure out of this tray, I just wanted to show you guys that I think that this is the first time that Hasbro is using these rubber bands to attach the figure to the tray. I know that some other companies like NECA usually do that, but I'm not used to seeing that in the Black Series line, so just wanted to point that out because it kind of looked interesting to me. Man, that was a lot of rubber bands. And so here is our Droideka out of the box, and I have to say this is such a phenomenal figure. The amount of effort that went into engineering, into the design of this figure is just crazy. I mean, look at all of these beautiful details all across the figure. The shiny metallic paint looks beautiful. Hasbro really went out of their way to give us as accurate as possible representation of these characters from the movies and from the shows. It looks even better than what I initially expected. Maybe a bit of weathering would make this figure even better, but as it is right now, I think that it's a beautiful figure. Now let's take a closer look at the details. So here is a look at the head face. We can see these 3 eyes, if they are eyes, and they are really nicely sculpted. This is a softer plastic, this nose piece, let's call it that. It's a softer plastic. All of these technical details are so beautifully sculpted. Here is the inner side of the head. These parts of the eyes are of a different silver paint than the inner body, and then you get all of these small parts and pieces, the inner workings of the mechanism working on the inside of this droid, the way that the arms are sculpted, and then they go down here with these working pistons and moving forward to these blasters. I mean, look at all of these tubes going all around the place, from the inside and then going into the arm here and then going out again here and moving back inside of the weapon. Everything looks really well done. Hasbro always does a beautiful job when sculpting alien characters and droids. That's how I feel. You can see here underneath this upper plate like the spine of the droid, and then we get these hinges here because these flaps are articulated, and then the ball down here with all of these technical details inside the kind of spider mechanic legs that also look really good. And again we have details here underneath the knee that are painted in a different tone of silver, so that is a nice attention to details. As I said, a little bit of dry brushing would probably make this figure even better, like some damage effects, but But even as it is like this figure looks spectacular. Now for the accessories, obviously this guy doesn't come with anything, so we're gonna have to skip that part of the review, and right away we can jump into the articulation for this guy. And there are a lot of hinges, a lot of articulation points on this figure, so if I missed something, please forgive me, but let's start with the head. This part of the head is on a hinge, so you do get a little bit of up and down movement, and you also get a rotation, which is great. You get a little bit of character out of this figure. And then the whole upper plate is also on a hinge, and in fact it's double hinge. You have one hinge here and then another one going down here in between the arms, so you get a range of movement in this part as well, together with that head movement. The whole upper body is also on a hinge that is down here in the torso, let's say, and that gives you up and down movement as well. So when you combine the head and this whole upper part together with that torso, this guy can bend forward this much. So as you can see, you have few different points of articulation, like here, here and here, and all of those are functional together with the lower one that I just showed you. So all of those are playing a role in that crouching position. Arms in the shoulders, let's call this part here shoulder, you get the up and down movement, but also a little bit of forward and a great range of moving back. So that is amazing. It's practically a butterfly joint for Droideka. And then here you get another hinge that allows you to straighten out the arm almost fully, but you have to be careful not to break these tubes. On that same point of articulation, you get a swivel. So, you know, Droideka can like kick up its opponent. And then here in the lower part of the arm, we have another point of articulation, and then down here is another one. And so you get this piston that is a working piston. It retracts and extends. The lower part of the arm goes inside all the way. So if this would be your typical action figure elbow, this guy has a double jointed elbow. So you get a full bend, a full range going there. Droideka can also bend back. This is how much it goes back. These flaps, as already mentioned, are on a hinge, so they do move out. You can open them fully like this. There is no rotation here on this figure, but down at the legs you get a hinge so that the leg can move left to right, and then there is a ball hinge here so that you can move the leg up and down, and you also get a rotation on that point. And then down here is another articulation point, so the leg can bend this much and straighten this much, and there is no swivel on this part. I don't know if I mentioned it, but there is another swivel point in the arm. Now, if you want to turn your Droideka into a rolling ball, you know, that gimmick from the movies and from the cartoon shows, I mean, you can do that, kind of. This is one way of doing it. I mean, the shape is there and it can practically roll. Maybe there is also another way. Maybe there is a way to tuck the arms maybe a bit more into the body. The thing that I did is I pushed the guns all the way inside, turned the legs here on this hinge like this in the opposite direction, and then used that ab hinge so that the body leans forward like this, and then the third, the back leg, I also rotated up like this and then hinged it inside like this. And so now you have that kind of ball looking Droideka. If you maybe have a better way, some other way to do it, please comment down below, share your knowledge with the community, and you will maybe help someone out. I almost forgot to mention that the head can be extended with this piece here. So you can pull the head and this comes out like this, and now you get even better range for the head. So this adds to that gimmick of turning this figure into a ball. Now let's compare our Droideka with some other figures. Here he is with the Black Series B1 Battle Droid and the Black Series Magna Guard. Here he is with Bandai Model Kit General Grievous with a custom soft goods cape and the Black Series Count Dooku. Here is Droideka with Bandai Model Kit R2 and Bandai Model Kit C-3PO. Here it is with the Black Series Phase 1 and Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Here is Droideka next to the Black Series Clone Wars version of Anakin and Obi-Wan. Here it is next to the Black Series Mace Windu and Kiari Mundi. And finally, here it is next to the SH Figure Arts Episode 3 Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so overall, I think that this is a beautiful, a spectacular figure. Hasbro killed it with this one. They did such a great job in terms of engineering, in terms of all of these small parts and pieces that imitate the inner workings of a droid like this. The articulation is beautiful. I'm not sure if this guy should be a bit taller when compared to the rest of the figures from the line, but I must say that for this character that really doesn't bother me that much. Those were all my opinions, and now I would really love to hear you guys. What do you think about this Black Series Droideka? Do you have it in your collection? I assume that if you are a Black Series collector, you probably consider this a must-have for your collection. That's how I see it. So let me know all your thoughts about this guy down in the comments. Stay tuned for a posing video for this figure, and as always, special thank you goes out to all of my supporters on Patreon and to all the rest of you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see ya in the next one.